So we decided, let's just stay here tonight. And we slept in the safe room through, the whole night, through booms and rockets and firing and everything the whole night. But when we woke up Sunday, we were even more terrified to learn what really had happened Saturday night.
Right.
Our kibbutz has an army base, the Zikim Army Base, which is right behind our kibbutz. And Hamas succeeded in coming by boat, entering the army base. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm in total shock.
Absolutely.
But we learned that they broke into the army base. This is unheard of. This had never happened before. Killed Israeli soldiers, put on their uniforms, stole tanks, and tried to infiltrate into our kibbutz. And our security, in the beginning, thought this is the IDF. Here they are in uniform and tanks. But the terrorists pulled out such heavy machinery that our intelligence security said, wait a minute, this isn't the IDF. Oh my God, it's Hamas. And luckily secured our kibbutz. And this was the rapid, I'm glad I didn't know this Saturday, even though our house was closed, having a terrible burning smell. The South is on fire, basically, a terrible, like as if you're in a forest fire. And part of the reason we personally decided to evacuate, because sometimes we feel safer stuck in our safe room than we do out on the road traveling.
Absolutely.
We didn't have internet or phone service. I have family in the States that had put out missing persons posters, contacted the embassy, contacted the consulate. They were frantic because in 24 hours, they hadn't heard from us. While I'm sitting in my safe room being attacked by terrorists, I don't have internet. Half of my community didn't have electricity.
Right.
Why are we supplying them with electricity when we don't even have electricity? And I don't want to get into all the history and all the politics, but I think what the world doesn't understand is that Israel continues to, we pulled out of Gaza. It's not ours, right? It's not ours. Hamas took over. There are tons of innocent Palestinians there, but but Hamas won, right? Hamas was elected.
Yes.
Gaza is run by terrorists who take tons and tons of supplies and money, and they don't build schools and hospitals. They build weapons to annihilate Israel, not to defend themselves. They have nothing that they need to defend themselves from.
Absolutely.
We're not randomly attacking. And they use all of it. So I think we're stuck in a how the world sees Israel, right? And to be frank, why is it our problem? Why is it Israel's problem to save all of the poor Palestinians who are under Hamas ruling? We can only send in so many supplies and water. And I watch how many trucks go through. My friend's husband's one of those truck drivers. So much goes through to them from Israel, not from Hamas, from Israelis.
Right.
But it gets to a point where this is not a war of armies, of equal armies against each other.
Yes, that's
These are murdering terrorists who want to come and kill my children. They don't want land. They want to come and murder me. So why should my country worry about supplying humanitarian aid to the citizens that are theirs that they don't care about?
It's a completely different.
And Israel is one of the most, if not the most, humane army in the world, to the point that I also personally criticize them. Hamas took over the police station in Sderot a few days ago, right? So I heard that the IDF is going to destroy the police station, right? That makes sense because Hamas went in and killed Israeli police and they've taken over the station. Instead of just bombing it,
right,
the IDF went in slowly with bulldozers And so what happened? The terrorists fled, and now they're roaming free in Sderot. How? And an army. That's a big part of the problem. These are terrorists. It's not one army against another army.
Mm-hmm.
So I really can't. I mean, this is a big part of the problem, and this is why mainstream media does nothing for what's really going on here, because I think that a lot of mainstream media tries to be really fair, and they take a number. These many Palestinians are dead, but only these many Israelis are dead. But do you know why? Because my country has to charge so much in taxes so that we can defend ourselves and build the Iron Dome, and Hamas isn't interested in protecting their civilians. They use hospitals.
And now the hostages
fire
have
from.
human shield.
Right. They're not scared to admit that they use human shields. So you can't try to be fair. You can't take a death count here and a death count here. They're using human shields, and we have proof. We have videos and recordings of Israelis that are ready to target. I think it's just very difficult. I have always said, there's Al Jazeera, right? And I have always said, if Israel wants the world to really understand, we need a media outlet, not Fox and CNN and the BBC. We need one. Because if you sit and you watch the Israeli news, you'll see what's really. So I don't want to get too far into all of that, but this, this is not two armies. There's nothing equal about this. Israel has never, ever, ever said, let's go kill civilians or children or ever. If you look at a map and see how small Israel is, you can see that none of this is about land.
Had it been about land, then Gaza would have been wiped out of the face of the earth very earlier. I mean, this is not about the land. This is again about respecting your own territory, your culture,